Carlos, I want to focus on what we heard from Francisco Alvarez and Reed Garrett yesterday, just in general, the pitcher-catcher relationship. What did you think when you heard what both of those guys had to say about that one pitch yesterday?
Yeah, I thought they handled it really well. Obviously, they own it, you got a catcher that was thinking about something. You got a pitcher that saw something different. And obviously, the call was made. We didn't execute the pitch, but I thought the way they both handled it, was very professional. Obviously, we didn't get the job done. But, proud of them with, like I said, with the way they handle it.
That's a little insight into something that I'm sure happens all the time. How many times a game would you say there is something like that, whether it's pitcher catcher, even from a manager's perspective, where you can make a case to go either way and you've got to make that call?
Yeah, it happens, every day. Every game there's a situation where, there's a decision there where the catcher's putting down the fingers, the pitcher's probably thinking something else, and that's why you prepare and you have some of these meetings going into a game, know the strength, the weaknesses from the hitters, and in certain situations, you kind of prepare. You got that car there too, and then sometimes the pitching coach goes out there, but then the game will dictate, and you have to make adjustments, and that's something that with Alvy, the feel for the game and his ability to read swings and things like that, and same thing goes with our pitchers, but I feel like that's what makes Alvy and Louis so good at what they do, because of their ability for the pitching staff to trust of what they put down.
When something like that happens where whatever they decide doesn't work out, and in the case of Alvarez last night, he was clearly beating himself up over it, how much do you watch him or talk to him as a manager and just say, hey, keep doing it, like it's not always going to work out, but don't be shy next time?
Yeah, I mean, the way I see it, if you want to make a mistake, you want to be aggressive. You don't want to be second guessing yourself. Yeah, after the fact, everything is easier to go back and say, man, I wish I would have done this. But he had reasons. He had good reasons why, he wanted certain pitch. And like I said, it didn't go our way. We learned from it. I'm pretty sure they both will learn from it, and we'll move on.
All right, now from a managerial perspective, because we're talking about these types of decisions, how often would you say when you're making a decision, you are 100% convinced that's the right one versus I'm leaning this way and let's see how it goes? Like, how close are some of these in-game decisions that you have to make?
No, look, I mean, I'm pretty convicted. I'm 100% when I'm making the decisions. There's a lot of back and forth at times with some of the coaches, but a lot of times, most of the times, pretty good idea what I want to do. And then once I make the decision, there's conviction, A lot of times they're going to work. Sometimes they're not going to work. It happened last night. I own that one, I felt like, make the decision with Peterson, and looking back now, maybe you wish you had that one back, but you learn from it and you move on.
All right. Now, as a team, we know in a 162-game season, you're going to have ups and you're going to have downs. This is the first little mini slump you guys have been in. How, when you approach something like this, do you kind of take the temperature of the room and make sure that everything stays on track?
Yeah. You come back the next day, today, you kind of walking around, talking to guys. It's part of it, We went through it last year. Every team is at some point is going to go through it. And, look, we know we're a good team. We got to go out there, continue to compete, continue to prepare, and we have to execute. That's what it comes down to. But, yeah, you check around with the guys and making sure that, understanding that is part of it, and we got to continue to work. There's areas that we got to get better, and we will. And then that's how you address it.
Finally, Carlos, you got Paul Blackburn now re-entering the rotation. He's talked about, his uncomfortability out of the bullpen. What are you looking for him tonight, and how much of a normal routine was he able to have in between his last outing and today?
Yeah, I mean, he went through his normal routine where he threw his bullpen, and it's not easy, when you put in a guy that is being a starter his whole career in the bullpen, it's a completely different routine. But now he's getting this opportunity again to join the rotation, and like I said, he went through his normal routine, and he's gonna go out there, and I expect him to give us a chance to put the team in a position to win a baseball game.
Carlos, appreciate the time. As always, good luck tonight.
Thank you.